It's a sleepy autumnal Sunday today. It's been a very busy week photographing all sorts of things all over the place. We've been out fairy hunting this morning. We found the fairies. Now I'm back. Now it's time to get some work done. Welcome to the wedding walkthrough of Emma and Matt at Skipton Castle in Yorkshire. Today's theme is about preconceptions. I always like to gather as much information as I can before a wedding, find out about the venue, find out as much as I can about the couple, the timings, etc, and then try and forget most of that and respond to what's happening in the moment. I feel this really opens up your creativity. And one of the secrets to good repertoire style wedding photography is keeping an open mind, in my opinion, and responding to things as they happen rather than thinking, I am at this venue, I need to get X, Y and Z shots. That's the way I choose to work. Skipton Castle, I know of this venue very well. I've walked past it hundreds of times and been there on a school trip, I think, but never explored it as a photographer. And I wasn't quite expecting it to be so amazing. I'm going to tell you some stories behind a few of the pictures, talk about my approach and a little bit of technical information. We started the morning preparations with Emma and her sister at Tempest Arms. I'm not going to talk about the prep shots too much. I want to just get through to the ceremony really. I'll talk about this shot. I wanted to get a picture of Emma when she was ready with her bridesmaids and her parents. The problem I had was the sun was really strong and then would be blocked out by heavy clouds. So I needed shade really to guarantee a nice soft flattering light. The problem was we just had a car park to work with, so I found the only overhanging tree that I could find and put Emma close to that. It didn't quite work. The sun was still streaming through the tree, creating a dappled light, which was too harsh. So we just had to wait a few moments for the sun to go in and get the shots that I needed. Okay, this is the ceremony room at Skipton Castle. Fantastically lit. We've got light coming in from the top. It would have been nice to have some more light coming in from the side, but it's a nice bright white room, so the light's bouncing all over the place, so it's quite easy to deal with. I've talked previously about this moment when Emma arrives and wanting to achieve 3 or 4 different shots in this tiny moment. So here we have Matt's moment of realisation as the music starts and Emma starts to enter the room. My attention then switches to Emma and her dad walking down the aisle. I always need to get 4 or 5, sometimes 6 shots here because Emma's expression will change dramatically from second to second, from fear to happiness to laughter and everything in between. I always keep one eye on Mum and the bridesmaids to see their reactions, and in this case Emma's sister was getting rather emotional, which made for a lovely shot. Back to best man comforting Matt. Now, normally on a blog post I should have chosen between these 2 pictures really, but I love how they both are starting to lose it. Then Matt wiping away a tear on this shot. I couldn't decide between the 2, so I put both in. After the ceremony, I took Matt and Emma off around the castle for some shots. We had so many possibilities. The light around Skipton Castle is truly fantastic, and this old chapel is one spot that I'd found in the morning before the ceremony, and from the moment I walked into the room I knew this was going to be in my top 3 of best ever locations to photograph. If we just analyse the room, so we've got a huge window at the back which is backlighting the couple, but the dominant light is coming from the left, so the sun's out here on the left hand side creating the strongest light. We've got a tiny window here on the right, just filling in a few highlights on the wall. So the only thing I needed to do in post-production to this shot really was just lighten these beams slightly. There was nothing else to do, which was a little bit frustrating really. It's such an amazing place. I was kind of looking forward to messing around in Photoshop to see if I could make this even better, but actually just adding a little bit of contrast was enough. The main problem I had getting this shot was I'm actually stood on a lower step than Emma and Matt here. So my initial test shot, I had Emma's head maybe here intersecting the window, which was really distracting. So I had to hold the camera above my head to change the angle so they sat nicely under this window. This little pool of light here is what is just there coming from these 3 windows. Purpose built for photography, that spot, and I really hope I can shoot other things in this chapel. Okay, we headed to the courtyard, which was absolutely full of tourists, so it was hard to find a moment when there wasn't somebody popping out of the door or hanging out of a window. The lighting here is absolutely beautiful, with little areas of highlights just falling around. Okay, back to the Tempest for the reception. So after the speeches and the eating, I wanted to take Emma and Matt up the country lane here to get some evening light shots. I'd spotted this kind of golden yellowy field earlier on and thought that would make for some fantastic shots. Me and Matt tried to convince Emma to get into the field, but she wasn't up for jumping over the wall, which is absolutely fine. So we hung around on this wall for a while and just got some really nice relaxed shots. So at this point, Emma and Matt have been talked to, they've been hugged and kissed and dragged around all day. So for me to take them out of that situation into the beautiful countryside and ask them just to sit together on the wall creates this super relaxed, natural kind of scene that it's really easy to photograph. It needs very little prompting. They're just hanging around, enjoying being together, and I'm just waiting for the light to get better and better. So usually in these evening light sessions, I give myself 5, 6, 7 minutes maximum with a couple. I don't want to take them away from their evening reception for too long, but I broke all the rules on this shoot. The light was nice, but I just had a feeling that something special could happen if we hung around just a little bit longer. There was a bank of cloud at the back with a few gaps right on the horizon line, and the sun was quite strong. So at this point we'd lost the direct sunlight, which helped me get these softer images. So I talked to Matt and Emma and I said, I wouldn't normally do this, but if you can kind of hang around with me for 15 minutes, I think something really special is going to happen with the light. It was a real kind of high risk thing to do, and while we were waiting, we were just working on getting some of these nice soft light shots. And then after about 15 minutes, my gamble paid off when the gap in the clouds here just let the sun stream through, and we got these kind of semi-silhouetted, quite striking, dramatic images, which is great because it's a stark contrast to the soft light images. I've got a wider range of shots to deliver to them. Okay, we do some first dance shots. The dance floor at the Tempest is really small and the DJ lights don't really hit the dance floor. So I decided to stand next to the illuminated letter sign that they had at their reception and just use that bulb light to illuminate the first dance. So I switched my ISO to about 4000, shooting at f1.8 so I could shoot in such low light and create something a bit more moody and atmospheric, which works really well. You can see here on the kind of group shot the orange glow from the bulbs. That's all I'm shooting with, and it worked particularly well with the dad-daughter dance. Emma had a fantastic relationship with her dad, and the emotion really comes across with this kind of light coming in from the side here. This was probably the second time on this particular wedding where I stepped outside what I would normally do. With such an intimate moment like this, I don't really want to be up in their faces, disturbing that moment. But the emotion on Emma's face was so powerful and intimate that I decided to use a 50mm lens and just step a little closer and just snap this one shot before moving back again and giving them space to enjoy that moment. So I've captured the emotion without interfering too much. So that's it. Thank you for listening. Remember to check out the other videos on my other blog posts. Follow me on Instagram at mark_tassel if you don't already do that, and I shall see you soon.